I've got to make a bunch of soft plastics, and I figured you guys may want to come along. So I hadn't planned on doing this video, but I've got a bunch of soft plastics to make, some for a friend and a bunch for the website. And I figured if I've got to make a bunch, maybe we'll do kind of like a bait blog type deal. You guys can come along with me. Very low key, not all, specific number of drops and this or that. I'll just show you what I'm making as I make it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. You can see there, she's all laid out, post-it notes on what is required. We're going to be making a bunch of 3-inch slick swims, a bunch of whip wads, Ned craws, speed shrimp, tapeworms, Nico crawlers, 3.5 and 4.5 rockets, the whole works. So stay tuned and we'll get rolling. Got a lot to do. First cup's ready. We're gonna start out with some 3-inch slick swims, show you that mold in a second. We're gonna make them in some Barlow's Color Shift Seafoam Gold. This stuff is pretty awesome. Gonna add some 15 silver to it, as well as some really small, super fine 08 rather, purple. There it is, looking tasty. That stuff is warming back up, got a little cold on me. Show you the mold that we're gonna be using. As I mentioned, 3-inch slick swim. This is the 10 cavity. Oh, look at that beauty. Now this is, because of its design, doesn't have that special sprue in the middle to turn the Plastisol. Can't laminate this. These are single color only, but I have found this bait to be so dang tasty, so dang nice, that you don't need 2 colors to make it effective or to make it look good. Demold, first shot. Oh yeah. Man, what an awesome bait. Check those out. Ooh-wee. Came out beautiful. All 10, no issues. We are off to a good start. Alright, I shot a few more of those. That color is wrapped up. We are moving on. Got a new cup ready to roll, and we are sticking with the color shift, going to one of my new favorites, quite possibly the most natural color that I have been able to find recently, namely Lava Craw Green. It's that same awesome Lava Craw, but it's got that green hue to it, so you get browns and reds and oranges and greens. It's pretty stinking awesome. There it is. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness gracious. So the color on its own is good enough, but then I added some black flake, medium, 035, and 015 copper to really draw out some of those reds and oranges. Where are you gonna come out? On that side. Oh, they're falling out, but you get it. You get the idea. These are gorgeous. That copper pulls those tones, those reddish and orange tones out. Man, oh man. Red flake in this would also be killer, but we're going to use red flake in something else a little bit later. One more look. Dirty water, clean water, works in everything. And boy, the sparkle, the color shift, once it's in the water and the light hits it in different ways, yeah, Barlow knocked it out of the park with Lava Craw Green. So I kept going with those single color 3-inch slick swims. Figured you guys had your fill on those single color builds, but I can show you what I came up with. One of them is going to be familiar, I would imagine, if you've been around the channel at all, and the other one is kind of a neat thing I backed into. Alright, so here's the first one. You guys know and love that. That is Barlow's Color Shift Sunburst. Isn't that beautiful? This one's got holographic silver and just a touch of 008 green, actually. I thought that would complement it quite well. The other is this guy, which at first glance may just look like your standard chartreuse pepper, which, you know, it's close. But if you look close, you'll actually see some white flake in there. So this is chartreuse salt and pepper. It's got 35035 black in it and 015 white flake. These are good to go. I'm gonna hang them up and let's turn our attention to a laminate. 2 cups ready to go. By the way, using Bait Plastics 242 for all of this today. That's pretty normal. The color I want to do in this laminate, we're going to do some whip wads in it. That is chartreuse and light blue. I'll probably throw some flake into it, show you the final colors, and then we'll see if we can make up some sweet looking whip wads. There we are. Chartreuse has got just a little bit of holographic silver in it, and that sky blue, I put just a little bit of Bait Plastics royal blue to kind of drive home that blue, but give a little bit of shimmery sparkleness. The blue is the back, so that will be the top. Chartreuse is going to be the belly. Plastic is warming back up. I was able to clean everything, got the sprues cut off. I shot these without the hook slot. So this mold, if you're familiar with it, seen it on the channel before, you can do it with the hook slot. You flip it over, you get that slot in the belly for a swim bait hook, or you can flip it back over and shoot it as a solid body, which is my preference because I think it looks and functions perfectly on a swim jig, that big tail, as well as on a chatterbait. Both of those would be better with a solid body. How about that? Ooh, yeah. Such a sweet mold. I mean, it laminates so well. That looks great. There's the last one in that. Came out really nice. Let's see if this other 3 cavity turned out as nice. Beautious. There's the top one. Came out like the other. Looks perfect. And the bottom too. I mean, look at the lamination into the tail. How cool is that? I mean, it goes all the way around. Golly. I'm going to do this again. I've got enough, I think, to shoot both molds one more time. And then we're going to go to a single color, but it's going to be a changeable. And we're going to shoot a ton of molds with it. I got out the 4-cup Pyrex. This guy is an absolute beast. We are going to make 4 cups and maybe need more eventually. I don't know, because I got a lot of molds here. I'll show you in a second. But we are going to make at least 4 cups of chameleon. This is a brown and purple changeable by Lurecraft. We'll pick out a good flake that'll go in here as well. Let me show you what I have beneath me. Look at this lineup. We've got everything from speed shrimp to tapeworms, Nico crawlers, 3.5-inch rocket grubs, 4.5-inch rocket grubs, Ned craws rather, 2.5-inch Ned craws, and then the 3-inch slick swim that we've been shooting, as well as the whip wads. We've got a full 4 cups. I'm thinking 15 drops per cup, so that would be 60 drops. Yeah. Still a little translucent. I I got about a 1/4 inch down. I can still see the knife. Let's put some flake in it. See where we sit. Whoa. Golly. That is a cool color. That changeable, that darker brown, and then, man, this is going to be some cool stuff. I'm going to put this in the microwave, and we are going to shoot, hopefully, all these molds. I've got 3 8-ounce injectors, 3 of those ready to go, and there's more than 3 cups here, so we should be able to just suck it up, suck it up, suck it up, and hit all of them. Wow! This color, it's good. Every mold is full, and from what I can tell, they all shot beautifully. Let me turn this camera around and show you all the spread. Look at that. Okay, prepare yourselves. Gorgeous. I know the lighting isn't that great. It's now nighttime. I had to take a break, but that brown moving into the purplish pink. Oh, the tapeworms looking awesome. Look at this Nico crawler. Look at that. See how it shifts, and it's got that, oh gosh, it's so good. Gorgeous. Here's the speed shrimp. This has got to be one of my favorite molds. It is fan-freaking-tastic on a Ned rig. Oh, like a little mini creature bait. Those little tentacles at the end just flap and go crazy. So good. So good. There's the crawls, or the Ned craws. There's the top. There's the bottom of the second mold. Here's the big boys, 4.5 rockets. There you can really tell when the Plastisol, or when the bait itself is thicker, you get more of the brown, and then as it thins out, but you still, all that light reflection. The flake is like picking up perfectly. I'm having a hard time even expressing myself. And then of course the whip wad's nice thick body into that thinner tail where the purple and the pinkish really comes out. And of course you guys have seen this one already quite a few times, but tell me that that would not absolutely destroy some smallies. I mean, come on, right? Natural brown, hot pink, purple, crappie, 3-inch all day. So this was a successful run. These are all headed to the website. I've got a little bit left, and I'm going to shoot a couple of them so I can have 2 of them. But that, I would say, was a success. 110 baits later, and we used up that entire 4 cups of chameleon, and they look fantastic. I think we will stick with the changeable mode. I got another 4 cups in the microwave already. What changeable are we going to go to? None other than motor oil, of course. Not just any motor oil though. This is the Lurecraft motor oil, which I vastly prefer over the MF version. I know already that I'm going to do the same black mix, large black, small black, and we're going to go with red 15 on this because red in motor oil just looks good. Well, I got all excited, too excited to shoot all these molds. I've got them all lined up here once more. You can't see them in the camera, but I got all pumped up to do it, and I forgot to show you guys the color. So there's the big jug. You can see it's all the way down to 2 cups already. But let me show you this. There it is. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. It's got that darker brown, or darker green rather. There we go. darker green, and then it changes to that brown. I think the red really sets it off. But the MF version is almost like an aqua type of green, I always thought. This is a lot more natural, so I'm digging it. I got everything shot here, all the worms, the creature baits, the rockets, the Neds, and all that. The only thing left to do is the whip wads. So, let those cool off, crack these guys open, and we'll see what we got. No cheese. I'm allergic. I have regained my strength. Let's take a look at these molds and, or take a look at these baits rather. Those are the Ned Craws. Looking juicy. Such a good Ned bait. Between that and the speed shrimp, that's all I need. Looking fabulous. This mold shoots so well. Looking really good. Nice and translucent. All these are going to be like that, right? I should say 15 drops per cup. So 4 cups just like the last time, 60 drops total. And then the same thing, 1 teaspoon of large black, half teaspoon of small black, and then I think a 1/4 teaspoon of 015 red. And it gets you that. Nico Crawler is a gorgeous bait. I mean, the symmetry and just the ribbing on it and where it widens, and then it's just made right. Speed shrimp, gorgeous. Here's the big boy, 4.5 rocket grub, 3-inch slick swim. Once again, supernatural color, shifting in the light. And lastly, the whip wads. The whip wads. Look at those. Wow. That thinner tail gets the color shift, or the changeable into the brown, right? So here it is yet again, a whole table full of epic baits in some sweet colors. Clean this stuff up. I'm going to use up the other 2 cups. It's like after 10 o'clock now, so this will be the last run for tonight, and I will see you guys, well, for you in a couple seconds. For me, it's 2 days later. Yep, not even the next day. It is a whopping 2 days later, but I'm not complaining, because yesterday I worked half a day and I spent almost the rest of that half day talking baits. I mean, it was cool. I was on the phone with one guy for an hour and a half and some pre-stuff before that, then another conversation for 40 minutes, and then another conversation for an hour and a half. It's the way I like to spend, that was a Friday for me, so that's the way I like to spend my Fridays, talking baits for half the day. We are going to pick up, and I have one other single color that I failed to do prior to when we were doing those. The idea behind that color was to pair up this guy. That is a neon black powder paint, 1/8 ounce chatter minnow head, some 3D eyes. It's looking fan-freaking-tastic. And I needed some 3-inch slick swims to go with that, because this, as well as a number of other the 3-inch swim baits, the 3-inch slick swims that we did, are going to be paired up in combos going on the website. The color that I came up with, or that I had in mind, using that black with the red, that's the black neon. Let me show you. How about that right there? Smoke red. So normally I would use 6 drops per cup. In this one I only used 5 drops per cup, because I also added some 015 black flake, and then the red that is in this is actually medium sized 0.35 or 0.4 red flake. Stirred up a big batch of that, 4 cups again, shot everything that you guys have seen me shoot thus far. You saw the 3-inch slick swim, how juicy that looked. Here's a couple other highlights for you. Look at that. That's the speed shrimp. Look at how translucent it is. It's a little bit darker. The 5 drops versus 6. I think the black flake kind of darkens it just a little bit. That's why I went with 5 instead of 6. Look at this Nico crawler. So good. Whip wad looking fantastic as usual. And then look at this guy. How about a Ned craw in the same thing? Oh, look at that. It's so good. I did the rockets as well. I'm probably forgetting something else too. So I did it all. Those will also be on the website, and that will be the last single color that I'm gonna make. Now it's time. I've got 3 more laminates in mind, and those are all going to be whip wad only. There's our color choices for the first laminate. This one is black melon with some black flakes, some purple, and some holographic gold. Love how that one, kind of a candy color. And then this is purple zonker. Very few drops because it's a saturated even for an MF color, but it's got green flake in it and some of that same holographic gold. Baits are shot. I'm not all that confident with this one though. That purple zonker color, which by the way, how could we not use a pigment on this channel called purple zonker when, man, we use zonkers all the time here. So we gotta use a pigment called purple zonker. It's just, it's a necessity. That said, we have played with this pigment before on the channel in a color demo, and I've only put, this is an MF color. Usually you need 25, 30, even 40 drops to reach any level of saturation. I put like 15, I think, maybe 20 at the most in a cup to show you guys the color, and it was like ultra saturated. So I got freaked out by it. I only put about 5 drops in that whole, maybe 6 in that whole cup, and I think my fear held back a little too much, and it's going to be a little too translucent when paired up with this guy, which I love this color, black melon candy. The Plastisol was also very cold, colder than I usually shoot it when the block is cold and the injectors are cold. I just now that all of my excuses are taken care of and I've given you all the reasons why this might not work out, let's take a look. So there's a bottom one. Looking at it in the viewfinder, you would think that the purple zonker is on the top and the melon is on the bottom, but I used offsetting flake on purpose. I wanted purple flake on the top because the bottom was going to have purple pigment, and I wanted green flake on the bottom because obviously the top was going to have a green pigment. So pulling it out, yeah, that's a better look. Boy, it sure looks, the flake is taking over. It looks more purple on the top. I can see it's more of a brownish, right? That's that dark melon. And then, I don't know. I think that might work. I think it's pretty cool. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Plastisol's warming up for the next laminate. I think we're gonna go back and do an old classic. We've done it on the channel here before. It has always looked good. Hopefully I can do it justice once again. Got some Arkansas Shiner for the top, Lureworks color, and the good old monkey milk from Bait Plastics as the belly. There we go. Arkansas Shiner with some 15 silver, which is always cool in this color because some of the silver stays silver and some of that silver picks up the other elements of this pigment and almost turns it gold. I just love that. You get 2 colors out of one, and then who doesn't love monkey milk with a little bit of the same 15 silver. got all excited to see the results, and I just opened one up without turning the camera on. But man, I love this color, and it turned out gorgeous. Check out the tails. Especially, look at that. How the laminate went way down into the tail. Oh, gosh. Man, so clean. There's that third one. There we go. All three. I haven't opened the other one yet. But goodness gracious. Let's see how the other one looks. I think it's gonna look just as spanky as that. Didn't know you guys were gonna get a song. It does. Looks fantastic. Check it out. Man, I love monkey milk. That blue sheen, some of the silver to set it off, and that silver, like I said, getting you both silver and gold in the top. Ah! These are perfect. I got, you probably heard it, the Plastisol just warmed up for the second run. Gonna do that. One more color, and we wrap this thing up. Alright, for this last color, we are voyaging back into the land of the unknown, the danger zone, if you will. I have no idea how this one's going to turn out, or if it will even turn out. And we're using a pigment by MF that we used on a color demo, and I was totally confused by and wasn't very impressed. It's called Earthworm Blue. If you saw that video, you know when we used this, it was like crystal clear with a little tiny blue hint. It looked nothing like that, right? It was just weird. And after that, I had more than one person get a hold of me and say, don't give up on the Earthworm Blue. It hard packs super bad. You really got to get in there and mix it up and try it again. So I pulled this back out. It was indeed extremely hard packed. I haven't touched it since that video. And it was so bad that I had to get a popsicle stick out and just, you know, cram the stuff or uncram the stuff from the bottom. So I will say, having shaken this until my arm has fallen off and dug it all up, it definitely looks different than it did in that color demo series. I have hope now, and I think it's going to make an awesome top color if it works out. The bottom color is one that I know I like. It is Iridescent Pearl. This was also in a recent color demo. It's got that pink iridescence that kind of flows through it. Also a very translucent color, and just awesome. Well, there they are. This one is the Earthworm. You can see very blue. More on that in a minute. And there's the Iridescent Pearl. You can see that pink iridescence pop out. Really nice how they turned out. A little bit of holographic silver in this one. This one has got some extra blue flake, 0.015, which obviously made it look a lot more blue than it would have on its own. It did have that nice blue sheen, but the little bit of blue flake that I added, it was just a 1/16 of a teaspoon, really kind of grabbed it and enhanced it. Hopefully these are as sweet a clear water bait as I have in my head. Sorry. Give me a minute. Look at those. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh yeah. I would say that worked. Clear water presentation. Here's one out of the mold. You see my finger. Oh, and how about that Earthworm Blue with just a touch of that lighter blue flake just to kind of set it off. A holographic on the bottom just gives a little sparkle, a couple other colors that pop through. Yeah, buddy. This was about 20 drops of both of those colorants. Yeah. all day. Those will work. Well, we are complete. 2.5 days of bait making, 12 colors, 426 baits later, we're done, at least for now. I have used every single tray that I own. This one's stacked up by 3. There's a bunch down there. I have used every single 1 cup that I own. It is full. I've used most of my 2 cup size Pyrex. I've used half of my 4 cup size Pyrex. We have got a mess to clean up, but check out these baits. Ooh, they're looking good. And that's just half of them. I actually have a special guest here that's going to help me show off the rest. None other than 100% Reed Ball.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Here. Let's go check out these other baits. Never mind the mess behind me. There they are.
Man, they're nice.
A full rack. Ah, so pretty. Lighting's horrible over here. Yeah, that is chameleon. Beautiful color. 2 colors in 1. It's a changeable. So, lots of work, but a very rewarding process. You know, definitely a different vibe in this video. Just a couple of days hanging out with me in the shop, making a ton of baits, but I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. If you did, make sure to let me know down in the comments. Appreciate you coming along with me. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, I'll see you guys in the shop.